to my channel. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Lyssy. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and be sure to drop a like if you guys are excited for today's video, and I'll make a special inclusive offer for you guys. If this video gets to 20,000 likes, I will go to Chuck E. Cheese and film a video in the Chuck E. Cheese building. But today we are still going to be talking about scary, true Chuck E. Cheese stories. I know that I haven't done a video like this in a while, and you guys have been begging so much for me to do more Chuck E. Cheese videos, so the tea is hot, and today we're going to be telling some scary Chuck E. Cheese stories. So let's just get started. Here's one of the stories I found from an employee who worked at Chuck E. Cheese. One time, one of the servers dropped a pizza that had just come out of the oven. He put the pizza on the tray to take out, but he dropped the tray top down onto the floor. It was really busy in the Chuck E. Cheese, so the server took a spatula, went all the way around the pizza, and flipped it back over. But the pizza somehow still looked perfect. He looked at it and said, "Forget it," and then served it to a party. About 10 minutes later, he was called to the table about the pizza he brought out, and they said that it was the best pizza that they ever had. First off, ew, that is so gross. I know a while back people were always talking about the Chuck E. Cheese pizza, saying that one thing about how they look uneven. Whenever a Chuck E. Cheese pizza would be delivered to the table, the pieces didn't line up or align correctly, and then people had the conspiracy or rumor that Chuck E. Cheese might be recycling their pizzas. But I think Chuck E. Cheese conveyed that to be false. They said that their pizzas are actually cooked fresh, and it's even on their boxes now. And I know in a previous video I found out tea that Chuck E. Cheese was hiding, where they actually made a second business connected called Pasquale's Pizza, and it's basically just Chuck E. Cheese but the name of another character in Chuck E. Cheese, and they were doing that because people were scared to eat Chuck E. Cheese pizza because they thought it was recycled. It's crazy how that happens, but like imagine if the pizza actually did fall and the server really did serve it to somebody and they're like, "Oh, that was some scrumptious pizza." I mean, that would really suck. Pretty gross. Next story. So this next one is really creepy. So this story was about a worker who was actually cleaning up the night at Chuck E. Cheese when he found something crazy. I was almost done with my shift for the day. I had had a really long day cleaning up after all the birthday parties, putting tickets in all the arcade machines, and running the prize booth at Chuck E. Cheese. But of course I had to pay my bills, and working at Chuck E. Cheese was the best option for me since I lived right next door. I remember when I was cleaning up that night and I was leading out all the families to leave before we shut the lights off and go home at the end of our shift, I heard crying in the ball pit. It was kind of strange because all the families had just left and there was no one else left inside of this Chuck E. Cheese. I then walked over to the ball pit and looked around, and I didn't see anything. I then looked back at the stage, and somehow the lights that I turned off on the stage magically had turned back on all by themselves. It almost looked like the animatronics had shifted position. Chuck E. Cheese was slouched over with his eyes wide open, and Helen Henny didn't look like she was in the same pose as she was before. I was really confused, so then I went over to the stage and turned the lights off. I then heard a little girl scream, "Help, please help, they were gonna get me," and it was coming from over where the ball pit was. At that point, I was so scared that I wanted to get out of my shift, but I knew that what if there was a kid in the ball pit that a family somehow had forgotten at Chuck E. Cheese. I dove inside the ball pit and there was nothing there. I was getting really creeped out. I looked back at the stage and one single light appeared over Chuck E. Cheese's head, and then Chuck E. Cheese opened his eyes even wider all by himself, staring directly at me. At that point, I was so creeped out, I almost considered quitting my job that night. I then went over to the stage to turn off the lights for a final time, grab the keys, and lock down the store and get out of there as soon as possible. But then once again, I heard a young girl cry, "Hey, please help, I'm scared. They're gonna get me, they're gonna get me." I looked over at the ball pit, and to my surprise, there was a little girl hiding in the ball pit that I somehow missed. She explained how the animatronic actually was talking to her and told her that she better not leave or else he would get her. So she then hid in the ball pit in efforts to stay away from getting kidnapped from the scary animatronics she claimed that were talking to her. The guy explained to her that the animatronic could not talk and that she would be okay, and then asked where her mom was. She then started crying, saying she didn't know and that her family had left without her. And then the employee said, "Don't worry, I'll call the cops and we'll figure this out." He then reached for the cell phone, and when he was about to turn around and get the little girl's name, the little girl was gone. Then looked back at the stage and all the lights were completely dim over top all the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics, and they looked to be in their regular setting position. All the lights in the Chuck E. Cheese turned off all by themselves, and he lost signal on the call, and he never saw the little girl ever again. That story is absolutely terrifying. That story actually keeps me up at night. I don't know if that Chuck E. Cheese was maybe just haunted, or if the little girl really did go missing and an animatronic took her. Comment down below below what you guys think. That story is crazy. That might be the scariest and most insane Chuck E. Cheese story I've heard yet. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and also if you guys have any scary stories about Chuck E. Cheese, comment them down in the comments down below because I am curious. The next story is also pretty crazy. You guys do know about the Chuck E. Cheese mascots, right? Well, before I tell the story, let me show you guys what an original Chuck E. Cheese mascot looked like. So here on the screen is the OG Chuck E. Cheese mascots, and it's crazy because I always talk about how much these animatronics and these mascots have changed over the years at Chuck E. Cheese. Like, the old ones were kind of scary. The new ones do look a lot more normal looking, but it does kind of take away the original Chuck E. Cheese vibes that I had growing up as a kid. When I was growing up as a kid, Chuck E. Cheese kind of looked like this, which actually was pretty chill. Like, I think that's the Chuck E. Cheese era I missed, when they had all the tube tunnels, the ball pits, the mascots, the really old animatronics. It just felt more like Chuck E. Cheese versus like now they're ripping out the animatronics and putting in dance stages and using these mascots. But anyways, let me tell you guys the tea about this next story because this one is scary. So this story is about a young lady who had just gotten employed to Chuck E. Cheese, and she was about to become the rat. She didn't know that she was going to be the rat or the mascot. She thought she was going to be working the desk, but apparently when she was hired, they kind of tricked her into being the rat because nobody wanted to be the rat. And if you guys didn't know, at Chuck E. Cheese, when you're the rat, you have to do kind of embarrassing dances, and you have to throw tickets, make it rain tickets on kids. You have to basically come out at every birthday party, deal with little kids tugging on you, parents getting mad at you. It's a lot of pressure, but nobody wanted to do it. She also, like the last person in the last story, needed some money to support her family and get a car and move out, so she worked at the Chuck E. Cheese because it was nearby. She then said fine, she would give a shot at being the Chuck E. Cheese rat even though she didn't want to. So her first day of training went fine. She learned how to put the costume mascot on. She learned the etiquette of being Chuck E. Cheese and learning all the dances and what to do and what not to do. But the next day when she came into work in the early morning, she was working the desk to start and everything was fine, giving out prizes at the ticket booth and helping kids in the arcade. But then there was a party that she had to dress up for. She then walked into the room where the Chuck E. Cheese mascot was supposed to be, but the costume wasn't there. She then asked her boss saying, "Hey, did someone take the costume? It's not there." And he said, "Oh, that's weird. It should be there, but have you checked the lower basement?" And then the girl asked, "What lower basement?" And the guy was like, "Well, sometimes that mascot seems to like get moved around. We don't know if it's someone pulling a prank or something, but sometimes it's in the lower basement with our extra storage bin." So the girl says, "Okay, I guess." So then she decides to go down into the lower basement of this Chuck E. Cheese. When she went down into this basement of the Chuck E. Cheese, she said that apparently there was a lot of old expired looking cans of food. Beef cans, pepperonis in weird packaging, and weird old toys that Chuck E. Cheese seemed to not want to put in their prize booth. But then she saw the costume and it kind of caught her off guard. All of a sudden the costume looked like the face had changed and the eyes on the mascot looked angrier than usual. She then heard a weird mumble come from the costume head and she started to panic. She asked her boss if there was any kind of cat in the basement or animal or something down there that would be making a noise, and he proceeded to say no. Sometimes weird noises just come from the pipes in the basement. So she didn't think much of it, so she went downstairs to get the costume on. She brought it up, and as she proceeded to put the costume on, all of a sudden, once she put the head on, she heard a low, evil voice whisper in her ears, "Take the head off!" She then threw the head against the ground, and as she threw the head against the ground, she said the eyes of the mascot started to glow. She told her boss about this horrifying moment, and her boss did not believe her. He said, "If you don't go and put that costume on right now for the party that's going on right now, you are going to be fired." She then panicked because she knew she needed the money. She put the costume on, and as she did, she started to feel really weird. But she went out to the party, and as soon as she got there, she started doing the dance and throwing the ticket. Halfway through the party though, she didn't feel so good. Eventually, she ended up passing out, and they had to send her to the emergency room. They claimed that she had fainted, but it seems a little weird since the costume seemed almost cursed. That night, she told the boss that she would never wear the costume again or never go back to work if she is forced to wear the costume. She believes that that mascot costume was haunted. And not only that, but the kids at the birthday party were traumatized for seeing Chuck E. Cheese pass out. She then decided to quit her job, and the boss was really unhappy about it. Rumor has it that the next employee who was forced to wear the Chuck E. Cheese costume had the same exact similar experience, and he also ended up quitting too. And now that Chuck E. Cheese has a really hard time getting anyone to wear the Chuck E. Cheese costume.
Recently, I think the Chuck E. Cheese by my house
house just ripped out the entire animatronics. Hey, little buddy, I know it's desperate, but it's not that serious. They ripped out the animatronics and, well, I guess it is that serious. It crushed my heart, so I have to get some more Chuck E. Cheese serotonin. So let's get watching these TikToks. Okay, so this first video says it's dumpster diving at Chuck E. Cheese.
I went dumpster diving at an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese and I found some actually cool things.
No way.
Making my way to the first dumpster, the only thing I saw was this Among Us doll, so I went down there and I grabbed it. This is a pretty weird find, but honestly, it's kind of cool, so I decided to take it with me.
Weird find.
As I was making my way to the other dumpster.
Ew. What happened?
Ouch. What the hell? At the other dumpster, I didn't really see anything at first, just a bunch of boxes, so I decided to jump in there.
Ew.
The first thing I found was this GoPro Hero 2.
What? There's just a GoPro and a Chuck E. Cheese trash can? Ain't no way.
I found this Apple Watch. Now this is insane. An
I
Apple
don't
Watch
believe
and an
any of this.
That's crazy.
He has got to put these in the trash.
Later, I found this mini phone. I don't know if it
There's
turns on,
no
but still,
way.
that's a
In a
mini
Chuck E. Cheese
phone.
trash can? Please.
After like 5 minutes of searching, I found this selfie stick in the box. Never been opened, so I thought that was
I
pretty
don't
cool
believe
too.
this man.
Anyways, this is everything I found while dumpster diving at an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, it looks like I'm gonna go to my abandoned local Chuck E. Cheese and dumpster dive and make some money because he just had a whole shopping haul from the dumpster. Thank you, Chuck E. Cheese, for giving us dumpster prizes. All right, so this next video already looks terrifying. We'll take a look at it. Oh, this guy's dancing. Chuck E. Cheese is standing behind him. Whoa, he's busting it down. Okay.
Chuck, give me the mic, man.
Chucky didn't like that. He had no reaction.
Give me the mic, yo.
Oh, he's getting Chuck E. Cheese's face. Oh, Chucky literally turned his eyes. He's like, you do not grab my ear, sir, and you do not disrespect my microphone. This guy was like, Chucky don't like me, and I'm okay with that. But that was pretty funny. He was busting it down. Oh, okay. If you ever wondered what it's like working at Chuck E. Cheese, she's going to sum it up for us. Let's take a look. Okay, I am kind of curious of what it's like working at a Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, okay. Whoa, okay, they're dancing with the costume. Wait, why are they getting locked in the freezer? Now they're so, okay. I guess the Chuck E. Cheese employees are a little bit, I don't even know. Honestly, it does kind of look fun. It looks like they're living their best life. Oh, if I wasn't doing YouTube, honestly, I'd probably be working at Chuck E. Cheese too. Why does this kind of look fun? They're playing arcade games. They're having a good time, honestly. Like, now I want to work at Chuck E. Cheese in my free time, okay? Imagine getting to, like, be the rat. I want to be the rat. He thought he was picking him up? What? Let's take a look at this video.
Okay.
Oh, he's so excited. Who's he gonna see? Chuck E. Cheese?
That was so nice.
Oh, Chucky's like, hi.
Oh, it's so nice.
He thought Chuck E. Cheese was gonna pick him up, so he just jumped and plopped onto the ground. No! That was so sad, but honestly, that was so funny. I'm sorry for laughing. POV, you decided to visit the Chuck E. Cheese while first sitting and almost throw hands with Chucky. Wait, I'm so lost. Are they being for real right now?
You decide to visit Chuck E. Cheese while pursuing and almost throw
What am I
hands with Chucky.
watching? What is going on here? Wait, what is Chuck E. Cheese doing to the fursuiter? Why is he like getting on all fours? Like, oh my gosh. I have no words right now. Why is there a furry at Chuck E. Cheese? Well, technically Chucky's a furry too, so maybe Chuck E. Cheese really is furry nation. I don't judge. Oh, people breaking the Chuck E. Cheese clock ride part 7. I could break the Chuck E. Cheese clock ride. Anyways, I think I have before. Okay, I remember like going up to like a certain point and the whole thing just oh, okay, is it gonna actually break?
Fasten seatbelt to start.
Oh yeah, it did that to me too. It was like fasten seatbelt and then the whole thing just went oh man, we love this ride. This is the best Chuck E. Cheese ride. It traumatized all of us. Please stay seated. Wait, did they just not even break it? It just wouldn't even start. Oh, that's rough. Oh, okay. I can't believe this is my job. Okay. Why are they crying? Oh, because they have to be Chuck E. Cheese? It's not that bad. What is with his teeth? Okay, maybe it's a little bad. CEC animatronics getting shut off for the night. We all know these little guys are a little quirky at night. I don't trust any of these, but let's see. I'm actually so curious. So they're singing, you know, and then they just stop and they fall asleep. Look at them. Chuck E. Cheese has his ears down. They all are kind of like slunched over. They do look a little weird. Honestly, I'm curious of what they do at night. I wish I could spend a night inside of Chuck E. Cheese, like 24 hours. Actually, like buy the animatronics like overnight and like watch them. That would be so sick. I want to do that so bad. Oh, wait, what is going on here? Pasquale? Wait, I've never seen him before. Oh, he's busting it. Oh, he's just doing some motions. Oh, whoa, Helen, Henny, okay. Chuck E. Cheese, I've never seen these other mascots. And, the dog, Jasper. Oh, wow, and Mr. Munch, okay. So they all have mascots? I need to see this again. I've never seen all of these Chuck E. Cheese mascots. I wonder why they were all out. And what if every Chuck E. Cheese had all these mascots? That would be so much cooler. They should definitely do that. It'd be like a furry meetup, and I'm down for that. Whoa, okay. What is going on here?
This Chuck E. Cheese still has the animatronics after it was announced that they will be getting rid of them all.
Yeah, they're getting rid of them all, and it breaks my heart.
I used to love these things as a kid, and it'll be pretty sad when these eventually
It's gonna be
but
so
I definitely won't be in
sad.
a room with them alone.
I would be in the room alone with them. I want to stay overnight. Okay, that sounds really bad. I don't know, but like these animatronics are just so nostalgic, okay? Like I don't want them to leave. Like when they leave, just having a dance with her is just not gonna feel right. I just wish that they would like do a revamp of them or do something new or give them a little makeover, make them look fresher, and then put them back inside of the Chuck E. Cheeses because this is so heartbreaking. Oh, why does this one look short? I don't know. What's going on here?
Chucky, don't look away from me. Look at me.
He's listening.
Look at me. You.
He did a side
Don't turn
glare.
away
He
from me.
gave
You
a
look at me
big
right
side
now.
eye.
You turn and give me the
You
respect
turn
that I
right
deserve.
now, Chucky. Oh,
That's
he
what I
turned.
thought.
He fully turned. He was like, okay, I hear you. And he went from here to here. That was creepy. It really is like they're listening. They know something that we don't know. And I'm trying to find out what secrets they're hiding from us. Oh, wait, why is this me? People who don't know, it's just Chucky. They didn't even spell Chucky's name right. Cheese. They took my video. FNAF fans. I was in an edit about FNAF fans and it got 400,000 likes? No. What are they trying to say? That I don't know FNAF exists? I'm well aware. I believe Chuck E. Cheese is connected to FNAF. That's why I was doing a full inspection on all the animatronics, okay? Of course I know that. I was just curious. Whoa, okay, this little kid here is going up to Helen. I don't know why Helen looks like that. It's a really old version of her. But what happens here? So she's just like playing with Helen. Okay, I don't think this is gonna end well. Hugging Helen, all right. Whoa, her eyes! Her eyes turned red. Oh my goodness, did you guys see that? That was weird. Okay, this one's never gonna end well either. Anytime it's a little kid trying to crawl up onto the Chuck E. Cheese stage, I'm prepared mentally to see something not end very well. But let's take a look. This little girl's jumping up by Chuck E. Cheese, of course. Trying to like get up by him and be like, hi Tucky, I'm your biggest fan. I feel like we all did this as kids though, because we were all curious. I definitely did this and I'm still doing it. No remorse, I don't care how old. Oh my gosh, whoa, that freeze frame. Okay, that was scary. He like was about to go forward for her and of course there's the FNAF jump scare at the bottom. But you know, that's weird. But yeah, I feel like it did traumatize me as a kid. Now it's just more exciting. But you know. Creepy Chuck E. Cheese mouse comes after a child clearly scared of it. What? What are they talking about? Chucky? Whoa, Chucky! She's scared, brother! Why is she so scared of Chuck E. Cheese? Why are they all so terrified of him? He's just a nice guy who likes to play arcade games and eat pizza and dance. It's not that deep, okay? It's like they've never met a furry before. Whoa, why is Pasquale all around town again? I don't understand. I've never seen this animatronic before. Not animatronic. Mascot of an animatronic. Pasquale himself, obviously. Why is he trying to play with a pillow pizza? Bro, that is not a real pizza. His mascot is actually kind of scary. I can't deny it. Someone tried to take his pizza? That was just so rare. What was the point of that? I don't even know what I just watched. Okay, well this is apparently scary true ghost stories from Chuck E. Cheese. Let's take a look.
Here are some real Chuck E. Cheese ghost stories.
Okay.
I was excited for the new Chuck E. Cheese down the street to open. The location took up an old restaurant my grandma used to take me to growing up.
All right.
My birthday was coming up and I wanted to be the first one of my class to have my party there.
Who wouldn't
we were
be?
having a great time and this random boy came to play some games with us.
Oh.
I remember playing the clown game with him. He looked a little strange. His clothes were a little dirty, but he was nice. When it was
That's
time to
weird.
eat, I invited him over, but he disappeared. It was weird, but I didn't think anything of it. When it was time to leave, my parents were pulling out of the parking lot, and I saw him staring at me through the window.
What?
I had a really weird feeling, and for some reason, I never wanted to go back.
That's so creepy.
It was so scary. Like, where did he go? And
Yeah,
why was
where did he
staring at him through the
go?
window?
Like, what? Was he a ghost? Was he not? I mean, I would assume he was a ghost. Chuck E. Cheese ball pit. As a kid, whenever you'd walk into a Chuck E. Cheese, you'd see, obviously, the bright ball pit filled with rainbow balls, and you never really thought about what could be inside of the ball pit. Well, there has been a variety of horror stories over the years, especially on Reddit forums, where people say that they found things in the Chuck E. Cheese ball pit that were not supposed to be there, all the way from snakes, knives, bad things that I can't even say on camera, just awful things that have been found in the ball pit. But I'm going to share a specific story from a past Chuck E. Cheese employee about things that they have witnessed, and one horror story in particular about the ball pit. So one story that this employee talked about with the ball pit was so horrifying that I'm going to tell it to you guys. So this one employee said they were cleaning up the ball pit, and every single night when they would shut down, sometimes they would take the balls out of the pit, you know, scoop out what's beneath the pit, and then try to clean them off. Like, they'd hose off the balls like once or twice a month, which is kind of gross. Anyways, so this one employee who was cleaning up one night at the Chuck E. Cheese shift, cleaning up the ball pit, said she heard a little girl's voice from the ball pit, said, "Hey, hey, over here." So then the employee began to worry because they were shut. The whole Chuck E. Cheese had turned off its lights, like they were closing down for the night, all the kids were gone, and now she's hearing the voice of a small child inside of this Chuck E. Cheese ball pit. Anyways, so she ended up going over to the ball pit, like freaking out, like, "Hello, where are you? Hello, is there a kid?" And then she stopped hearing the voice, and she started digging more, and she heard from the other side behind her another whisper going, "Hey, over here." And she turned around to see a dark figure behind her that just vanished when she saw a hand slide into the ball pit, and she dug around and she said there was nothing there. They ended up cleaning out the whole ball pit, saw nothing there. They checked the security camera footage and they still didn't see what the girl saw. So they think that she had seen a ghost in this Chuck E. Cheese ball pit. Apparently, she ended up quitting the job. She was so terrified she didn't want to go back after that. And a few other employees at this same Chuck E. Cheese had similar but different experiences with this exact Chuck E. Cheese ball pit. Somebody said that they had seen a figure of a kid walk into the ball pit, emerge down, and just disappear. And another employee said that they had heard growling noises inside the ball pit, sounding kind of like a dog or some sort of animal when they were closing down for the night. So that's kind of creepy. I don't know what's going on at Chuck E. Cheese's being haunted, but that's kind of weird. Anyways, moving on from the ball pit, we haven't talked about the tube tunnels. The tube tunnels have a lot of horror stories connected to them as well, for their own liking, but we're gonna talk about the tube tunnels. So as you guys know, the ball pits are usually by the tube tunnels. The tube tunnels are those fun little tunnels that you get to crawl around inside of. Anyways, there's been a lot of horror stories revolving around the tube tunnels. One story revolves around a little girl who actually got stuck inside the tube tunnels. So this is pretty bad. There was a little girl enjoying her evening with her family at Chuck E. Cheese one day when she ended up crawling into the tube tunnels. So there's this one tube tunnel with like a car. I don't know if you guys remember it, but if you crawl so far, you know, you get into this like little race car and it makes noises. Anyways, when she was in this car tube tunnel at the Chuck E. Cheese, it eventually ended up falling partially and she got stuck, so she was just hanging there freaking out like, "Help me, help me!" And they had to get the fire department to go to this specific Chuck E. Cheese apparently and take her out of this car thing because the whole structure bent. I don't even know how this happens. New fear unlocked, getting stuck in a tube tunnel and having to get the fire department to unlatch you. That's kind of scary. I don't know, but she was okay, so that's all that matters according to this random Reddit story that I found. I don't even know if it's true, but that's what Reddit said. Another story I've heard about the tube tunnels is that there has been a lot of interesting things that have happened in the tube tunnels. There's been times where obviously like adults sneak into there when they're not supposed to, but I mean, we all have that urge to like crawl in the tube tunnels, but we're not supposed to be in there. It's for kids. We all know that. And there's been other times where people say they found dangerous things stuck in the tube tunnels, like people piling bugs inside of there when they're not supposed to, kids pulling pranks on other kids, trapping them in the tube tunnels, pouring like gross liquids into the tube tunnels and then getting stuck in there, and gross poopy diapers. I don't need to go on about it, but tube tunnels are a new fear unlocked as well as the ball pit. Moving along, we're gonna get into some different stories. So the next story actually revolves around a tragedy that happened in 2015. So back in 2015, there was a girl from Indiana who was 63 years old and she was driving past the Chuck E. Cheese when she ended up going off the road and slamming into her local Chuck E. Cheese. And this already is a horror story on its own. You know where this is gonna go. She eventually slid into the parking lot of Chuck E. Cheese from some sort of accident and then slammed through the Chuck E. Cheese, actually injuring 3 children sitting inside eating pizza at the tables. One 12-year-old had wounds on his head and left arm, and one 5-year-old had wounds on both. And I think one parent was also injured that was sitting at the table with these children as well. They all had to go to the hospital, and unfortunately the bad part is the lady driving actually died in this accident when she slammed through the local Chuck E. Cheese. So yeah, that's really unfortunate. I still to this day don't know what happened to this lady, but there's been a lot of rumors about dark things at that Chuck E. Cheese ever since. So another Chuck E. Cheese horror story. This one is pretty dark, but you know how when you go into a Chuck E. Cheese and you stamp or you have your kid's hand stamped, or you have your hand stamped, they do this for safety precautions because back in the days, before they started stamping kids' hands, there was really creepy incidents where kids were almost kidnapped or were kidnapped at Chuck E. Cheese. So this is really, really scary, but there was a time back before they started stamping hands at Chuck E. Cheese when there was these creepy people that would go into Chuck E. Cheese's and look for kids who were off playing games, and they would be lured in with like tickets and stuff, or you know, vice versa, like, hey, come over here, we have free pizza if you want some, kind of thing. Anyways, so Chuck E. Cheese, that's obviously a place where a lot of kids go, so creepy people would go in there. And there was times where, you know, they'd be lured in with like a prize, like, oh, I have this really cool prize. If you come over here, you know, you can have it, or if you come in my car, etc. So there's been times where kids have literally gone missing at Chuck E. Cheese. To this day, to not have been found. But there's also a really creepy story that I read online about the animatronics. And these are all urban legends, so I just want to point that out. These are urban legends, but there's this one story about a little kid who claimed that he heard a voice coming from one of the animatronics in Chuck E. Cheese. This kid was looking at the animatronics and he said, Mom, Dad, the purple animatronic just said, come over here. And the parents were like, no, they don't speak. And the son was like, yes, they do, Mom. He said, come over here. So the kid crawled up on the stage by the animatronics and he was looking at all of them, and he saw that there was a curtain in the back, so he decided to crawl back in the curtain when his parents weren't looking. Rumor has it, he ended up crawling into the back of the curtain backstage by all the animatronics, ooh, spooky, and ended up not being found for 2 days after that. Then, accordingly, when the parents got him back, the kid said, I can't tell you what happened. The animatronics were talking to me, and everyone's like, no, your kid just snuck into the back of the animatronics and sat there for 2 days when he wasn't supposed to. But to this day, people have rumors and conspiracies that there's something darker about those animatronics. FNAF, you just never know. So we love urban legends. And last but not least, there's been so many numerous reports of people that work the Chuck E. Cheese night shift seeing and hearing things that they aren't supposed to hear from the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. So as you guys know, I love covering paranormal, but I also love covering animatronics, and a lot of these stories have to do with both of those things. There is this one specific location that there is a little ghost who actually haunts the top floor in an attic at a Chuck E. Cheese. It used to have a full floor of animatronics. It's actually the world's biggest Chuck E. Cheese. I think it's in San Francisco. Anyways, back before they pulled the animatronics out, the workers who were working there had some crazy true stories that they shared online, especially on the Reddit forums, and I have to share some of those with you guys. So one of these workers was hired for just about a week, and she simply was shutting off the lights, you know, turning off the animatronics at night, and she claims that every time she'd turn off the animatronics, she'd shut them off for the night, they'd be facing one way, and then she'd turn around just to like check, make sure there's no one in the Chuck E. Cheese. All of them would be completely the other opposite direction, and they would do this every single night. And she started losing her mind, so she would tell her boss, like, hey, are they supposed to reset? Are they supposed to turn, switch sides like that? Like, I'd turn them off and they'd all be facing one direction, and then I'd turn around and I swear that they're the other direction. And the boss was like, no, they don't do that. Once you shut them off, the air compressors inside just kind of fall and they just like slouch over, but they're not supposed to turn. So she ended up keeping a camera out one night, and she filmed every time that this was supposed to happen. Like, it had happened all the nights when she wasn't filming, and she claims that her camera would just die, the batteries would just drain, or the camera would die and then as soon as she turns off, you know, the camera, that she'd turn around and then they'd do it again. So she could never get evidence of this and she felt crazy. Some of her other co-workers never witnessed the same things, but they had witnessed other things where some of them said that they claimed they heard a little girl running behind the curtains of the animatronics giggling, just like laughing, and they'd look behind the curtains of the stage of the animatronics and they'd be like, no one's there. While other people claimed that these animatronics would sing and dance and move after hours at night. When people would walk past the Chuck E. Cheese building at night, they'd look into the windows and they'd see the animatronics like shifting or moving and blinking all by themselves when the whole place was shut off and they were shut down at this specific Chuck E. Cheese. That's crazy. Let me know in the comments down below, do you guys think there are any truly haunted Chuck E. Cheeses? And comment down below, do you guys have any crazy Chuck E. Cheese stories? That's it for today's true scary Chuck E. Cheese stories. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, be sure to smash a like and subscribe to join the family. It's been Lyssy and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!